Hi Epic teachers, I am going to make a video to show you how to access and create your lesson plans in the new Allofe system. If you go to WPS60.org and click on the staff resources, that will take you to Allofe, Waukegan Allofe, or you can just type in waukegan.allofe.com and that will also take you there as well. If you type in your username and password that the district has given you, it will bring you up to the e-curriculum. Some of you may also come up with the examine site if you do your bubble sheets, so make sure that you are on e-curriculum. If you're not, there's a button on the upper right corner, hit e-curriculum, and it'll take you to the main screen. You'll want to click on Manage Lesson Plans, and it will show you your week of lesson plans and what you have done. In this week lesson plan, if you would like to print it, this view, you can hit the print button right here, and it'll print the picture, your schedule for the week with what your title is of your lesson as well as your objective. If you want to see your lesson plan for that day, click on the blue link and it will pull up what you've done, the lesson that you created for that day. This is also where you can print that lesson if you say are having a sub or if you like to keep hard copies of your lessons. To make, edit, or copy your lessons, you'll want to go to the Manage tab here. This has the record of all the lessons that you've created. If you have units in the system, it will organize your lessons by unit and then in alphabetical order. To add a lesson, you hit the Add Lesson Plan and you get your template. You will want to title your lesson. You want to make sure to remember your title that you created, as you will need it when you are scheduling your lessons. You will want to select your subject area as well as your course. So I teach 6th grade science. Once you do that, a unit map will come up and it will allow you to select what unit the district has done and so what unit you want to assign your lesson to. Here are your Common Core standards. You can either click in the box here or there's a little down arrow on the right hand side. Double click whatever grade you have, and if you're communications or math, this is where you will find your Common Core standards. If you double click, you'll see all the different sections of Common Core that you can choose, and then you can see all the subsections and then the actual standards. In order to select a standard, simply click on it and it will be highlighted in blue and it will come up in your bar. If, say, you selected the wrong one, simply click on it again and it will go away. Once you have decided what standard you want, click anywhere off of it and the drop-down bar will go away. There's the ACT standards, and for science teachers, there are the next generation science standards that go the exact same way. Scroll down to MS for middle school, and your standards are here as well. Simply click on it, highlight it in blue, and it will show up in your bar. Your lesson objective is your I can statements that you put up on the board for the students. Your assessment and evaluation is just the same as the other lesson plan. And your strategies and activities is what you're going to be doing with the students that day. Any methods of differentiation and accommodation, same as the old one. Any co-teaching methods or strategies. So if you have a co-teacher or a paraprofessional that you might be doing some co-teaching strategies with, you can go ahead and select your model that you'd be doing, as well as how that might look in the classroom. You can write the description down here. Materials and resources is the same as the old lesson plan system. What's new on this one is you can upload a file directly to your materials and resources if you say you're doing a worksheet with the students, and then you can just have everything all in one spot with your assignment. Homework, type in the homework that the students are going to have that day, and again, you can upload, hit browse, and it will bring up your documents, and you can click on one, and it will allow you to see those documents in your files. So I'll just select a file here and I will add file, and so now it has been attached to my homework. I can download that file later on, or I can remove it if I click the wrong one. Once you have finished, hit submit. And you have now, it will tell you that you have successfully inserted your lesson plan. If I go over here, you can see that I have my sample lesson plan right here. It's Unit 2, so it grouped it after my Unit 1 lesson plans that I've created. If I just simply click on it, I will have all these options above. If I double click on my lesson plan, it will bring it back open so I can edit my lesson plan. And then I can hit resubmit, I can submit it again, and it just saved any changes that I made. If I hit view, it allows me to simply view what I've done, and I can again print from this method. If I go back to my lesson plan and I hit copy, it makes a new copy of the lesson plan. Make sure if you make a copy, you either write copy, day 1, day 2, otherwise you'll have 2 and you won't know which is which. And so if I have something similar one day and then it's just slightly different the next day, it's a continuation, maybe I'll just write the continuation down here instead of having to refill in all of the standards, the homework, the materials. I can just change the parts that I need and then hit submit. As you can see, since I made a copy, I have my sample lesson, which was my original, and then the sample lesson copy. If I want to share my lessons with a fellow teacher that I might work with so they can see it, I can select that lesson, type their name into the search bar, search them by hitting the magnifying glass, select them, and then now it is shared with that person, and I can hit save. So that lesson was now just shared with Nora. Or I can also click on my lesson and I can hit delete. If I made a lesson and I don't need it anymore, I can delete it. It'll ask me if I'm sure I want to delete it, and I'll hit OK. So now that lesson is no more. To assign a lesson you created to a day, you are going to go to the Schedule tab. It will come up with the current week that you're on, and it will tell you the date, it'll tell you the time that period starts, the time it ends, that section, and then the lesson plan. To minimize or to show a week, simply click on that week and it will show you what you have planned for that week. In order to change months, there's a bar down here, so I'm currently on August. If I click on September, it will take me to that next month. Again, it will show you the same exact thing with your lesson plans. So let me show you how to insert a lesson plan. Let me find a week where I don't have one in yet. So if I come over here and I click where this little dash is, that means I have not assigned a lesson plan for that day. I'm going to click on there and a bar comes up. So I'm going to type in the title of my lesson plan. Sometimes it might not show up. So you might have to refresh it in order to allow the system to recognize that you have a new lesson in. So then you'll just go back into Manage Lesson Plans, Schedule, go back to whatever month you were on, click in that bar, and it should now recognize that I created, this is my sample lesson. So if I type in my lesson title, I click on it, now I can click anywhere off of that, so I can click the next day, and the screen will flash, which means that it saved that lesson in on that day. You will have to copy that. If you're doing that same lesson in 3 different classes, you will have to add it in for each class. It's the same thing. Type in whatever the title of your lesson is. It will show it, and click off of it. The screen will flash, which means it is saved. You can also, too, go to the arrow over here and scroll through if you forgot what your lesson is. But once you get later on in the year, this list will get really long and it'll get a lot more tedious. So if you just remember your title, that'll be a lot faster. Now if you come over here to your lessons by plan time, it will show you what day you're doing that lesson. So now it showed me that I'm doing this sample lesson on Monday, September 15th. If you don't understand and you need more help, there is a getting started document that you can print off that will walk you through step by step, or you can watch a video that's very helpful as well. If you have any questions, you can come find me or send me an email at hspalding@wps60.org.